Once again, welcome to the 124th Commencement of Clarkson University. Jean Spence, class of 1979 and chair of the Board of Trustees, will now open our commencement ceremony. Please be seated.
The 124th Commencement Ceremony and Convocation of Clarkson University is herewith in session. The Marshal will come forward and vest the President. Please rise for the invocation by Reverend Brooke Newell. Then, please remain standing to join the Golden Notes in singing the national anthem, accompanied by the Potsdam Brass Quintet.
God of wisdom and compassion, we pray your blessings on these Clarkson graduates. We come this day with a sense of joy and celebration, for their years of study and work have brought triumph. Their accomplishments honor their teachers, their families, themselves, and their God. We pray for your guidance for them as they prepare to face the privileges and obligations society will place upon them. As students, they've been tested many times over the years, but the real tests are still ahead of them. They must search their hearts and find the answers to many difficult questions if our nation is to flourish, if our planet is to survive. We give you thanks, O Lord, our Creator, that we live in a land where we have the privilege to question authority, to establish our views for ourselves, to worship our God in peace. May our nation be a place where knowledge is available to people of all races, colors, and creeds. May education continue to bring people together as we face the common challenges of humanity. There is divine beauty in learning, in the quest for truth, in open-mindedness. May these students continue to cultivate spirit and imagination. May the same passion and creativity that has brought them this far be their lifelong companions as they find jobs, friends, loved ones, begin new families, and in time grow old. May they share with society the knowledge they've been given, realizing that what they've received they must pass on to others. Help them, Lord God, to use their education to battle hunger, homelessness, discrimination, and hatred, that they may lead us to be a people of peace, reason, and hope. May they always dream, and may their dreams challenge them to create a better tomorrow. As citizens of your kingdom, may they always be students of the sacred scriptures and of the wonders of creation. May they live their lives as a prayer to you, who formed all of us in the beginning. Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. I now ask that Jessica H. Martin come forward to offer remarks. Please join me in congratulating her, the senior class president for the class of 2017. Today, Jessie is graduating from the Chemical Engineering program in the Coulter School of Engineering. In addition to serving as class president this year, Jessie also served in several roles for the Clarkson University Student Association, the treasurer of the Society of Women Engineers, and student liaison to the leadership board of the Alumni Association. She was a resident advisor and an admissions ambassador. After a successful internships at Mylon Technologies and Estee Lauder, Jessie will be going on to work full-time for Estee Lauder. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chair Spence. Faculty and staff, friends, families, and graduates. My name is Jessie Martin. I'm the senior class president, and I'm honored to have the opportunity to speak to all of you today. As of 11 a.m. on Tuesday, I have completed my chemical engineering degree. And what that means is that for the last 4 years, I've done a lot of math problems, and I've written a fair number of lab reports, but I haven't done too much public speaking, so I'll ask that you all bear with me. After I was informed that I would be speaking at commencement, I, like any college student unsure where to start on an assignment, began with a Google search. What I found were beautiful and eloquent speeches from people like J.K. Rowling and Steve Jobs, who were sharing their thoughts on life and how best to live it. As a 21-year-old college senior, I didn't feel that this was something I could match, so I decided to take this a different way. Today, we're here to celebrate all that you've accomplished in your time at Clarkson. We all know that the courses here are challenging, the weather creates its own special set of obstacles, and if I were to try to itemize every hurdle that we faced as college students in the North Country, we'd be sitting in this arena for far too long. What's important is that all trials you faced here, you triumphed over. Graduation is a time to honor the required tenacity, dedication, and hard work that getting here took, and also to thank all of the people who helped us along the way, like the awe-inspiring members of the Clarkson faculty and staff, and our families who encouraged and supported us. I would be completely remiss if I didn't take a brief moment to thank my incredible family, especially the 3 people sitting here in this arena today. Your unwavering support and love is something that I will never be able to appropriately express my gratitude for. So I'll stick with thank you. Thank you for having my back. Thank you for being the people in my corner. You'll never know how big a role you played in getting me here. I love you guys. As graduation grew closer and I really needed to finish this speech, I couldn't help but get nostalgic. And I found myself thinking a lot about my high school graduation and when I had decided to come to Clarkson. Now, I really hated the college application process, and I mean truly hated it. I was completely overwhelmed, and I was convinced that I would end up choosing the wrong school and then have to repeat the whole ordeal in order to transfer. And this thought still lingered in the back of my mind as I started my freshman year. After one of my first exams that I was convinced did not go well, I decided I would go to bed early, get up early, and try again tomorrow. Tomorrow would be better. On my way to breakfast the next day, still disappointed about my exam, I made my way from Cub 4 to Robro. Now, for those of you who know me, you know that I have a God-given talent for tripping over perfectly level surfaces. And that gift, in combination with the earliness of the hour, led to this really graceful move of tripping up the stairs and then kind of sliding, falling, rolling back down to the bottom of the stairs. And before I even had time to think about how embarrassed I was, 2 sets of hands reached under my arms, pulled me upright, and one of the guys who was kind enough to pick me up looked around and told me, "Don't worry, no one else saw that." Later that day, I called my dad, and I told him, "I think I'm gonna like it. I'll be staying." After 4 years of difficult tests, brutal winters, and a few more incidents with various sets of stairs around campus, there is not a day that goes by where I doubt my decision to come to Clarkson. Choosing Clarkson is the best decision I could have possibly made. During my time here, I've received a great education. I've had a chance to work with fabulous professors, but above all, this is where I met my people, my best friends. I decided to share that really flattering story of myself because today I've been asked to sum up what 4 years of random acts of kindness, encouragement, and friendship has meant. And in all honesty, I don't know how to put that to words. What I do know is that as I move on from Clarkson, there'll be a lot of things that I'll miss. But what I'll miss most of all is all of you, the people who picked me up when I had fallen. Because at Clarkson, it's understood that we look out for one another. Of all the people we convey our appreciation to today, I think the most important are our fellow Clarkson students. The people that for the last 4 years told us to take pride in our accomplishments, amazed us with their unbelievable work ethics, rooted for us when we forgot how to root for ourselves, blew our minds with their kindness, and taught us to lend a hand whenever possible. When I look around this arena, not only do I see friendships I know will last a lifetime, but I also see mentors and role models. There are lots of famous quotes expressing how you're the product of your environment and how you grow into the people you spend the most time with. Now, if those are true, and I personally believe that they are, then undoubtedly these have been the best 4 years of my life because I've had the honor to be surrounded by people who inspire me and who taught me things that can't be learned in a lecture hall. Today, I'd like to say how grateful I am to be a part of this community. You are an unbelievable group of people, which I am fiercely proud to be a part of. If I could leave you with one thing today, it's that I hope that as we move on from our temporary home in Potsdam, we take a moment to express our gratitude to those people and to be proud of our Clarkson community. Because no matter how far life moves you from the North Country, we will always have roots here. Thank you very much, and let's go Tech.
Well negotiated, Jess. So thank you, Jessica. You really have said much, I think, of what is probably going to be spoken for the rest of the afternoon. So we really, truly appreciate your words, and we are very proud of you, as we are of everyone. So just to, in case you don't know, it's Tony Collins, the president here at Clarkson. And my personal congratulations. Mostly, I would like to say thank you for getting here. The last time I saw many of you Wednesday evening, we did make a pledge that you would get here, so I'm glad to see you all here. So good afternoon, graduates, parents, families, friends, trustees, faculty members, and honored guests. On behalf of the university, I extend a warm Clarkson welcome to everyone today. Today is both commencement. In both commencement ceremonies, we had an earlier commencement ceremony for the graduate students, and as I look at this full arena, I understand why we had to divide the graduate and undergraduate commencement ceremonies. So in both ceremonies, we had graduates from about 26 nations as well as 33 states of the Union. You came together willing to share your diverse cultures and backgrounds, and together you began to learn and create solutions to the complex world issues that surround us. And certainly, as Jessica said, you helped each other do that. My goal in the next few minutes is to share some of your stories, more or less anonymously, to shine a light on your success. So please rise and remain standing if you are identified in any one of these groups. Now, if you are a member, this one's pretty obvious if you look up to the sky. If you're a member of the women's hockey team who won 2 national championships, please stand. Stay standing. Stay standing, yeah. And Mackenzie, I'm ready. Okay. If you placed in a New York business plan competition, please stand. A New York business plan competition. Keep standing. If you participated in a Shore conference, please keep standing. We're going to get everybody up eventually. If you participated in a Shore conference, Symposium on Undergraduate Research, I guess it's got a new name now. Yeah, if you participated, stand, please. Okay, good. If you received a Goldwater Scholarship, the highest award for undergraduate research, a Goldwater Scholar, someone's probably already standing, right? Yeah, okay. If you are part of an Army ROTC battalion that placed in the Ranger Challenge. Yeah, there we go. If you're on a snowmobile speed team and placed highly in the national competitions, any snowmobilers out there? Whoop, there we go. If you're a member of the Golden Notes who bring song to our campus, Golden Notes. If you are a member of the volleyball team that went to 4 NCAA playoffs. Only a couple of you. If you're a member of the men's cross-country team that won the pep rally competition. Now, what is developing as quite a challenge, if you're a member of the dance ensemble or Goldies who entertain us at many events and who have beaten out the men's cross-country in the past years to win the pep rally competition. Any of the Goldies here? If you're a member of the women's Nordic team who were national champions or the men's Nordic team that placed 3rd. If you're a member of the first robotics team that qualified and participated in the national championships. If you competed, listen to this one, if you competed in the International Micro-Mechanism Contest in Japan and your robot did very well for an Innovation Award. Whoa! If you have been to a Liberty League final competition in any sport, please stand. If you are a member of the pep band that supports our men's and women's hockey teams. Now, I could ask if you have been on at least one internship or have undertaken undergraduate research, but then probably all of you would stand. So just let's note, all of those who have stood today have important stories, but so do all of our graduates, as well as the parents and faculty, but we could be here for hours if I continued calling on you. So please, one more round of applause for all of you, and take a seat. So believing that convention should be defied, I will give you a hint. There'll be 2 pauses. There are about 600 of you. It gets a little lengthy. So through the handshaking part of this event, we'll pause a couple of times to further celebrate our graduates and our nation. So stay tuned. This university was founded as a memorial to a humanitarian businessman, Thomas S. Clarkson. When he died, a saddened neighbor wrote in his diary, "Everybody's best friend is gone." The neighbor wrote that all people should, and I quote, "endeavor to do as Mr. Clarkson has done, not live entirely for ourselves, but to try to help others." So I conclude with a challenge, a charge to each of the graduates as you depart today. You have earned a degree that will open doors for you. Use it to also open doors for others. You have gained powerful skills. Use your power wisely with compassion for humankind. The humanitarian spirit of Thomas S. Clarkson places an invisible stamp on every Clarkson diploma. Let the humanitarian spirit that created Clarkson guide and energize your life beyond this campus and this day. And may you defy convention, for you truly are the hope of the future. So my personal congratulations to you. And now we will continue with I'll be back. Don't forget, I'll be back a couple of times. And now we'll continue with the special honors and awards. The first students that we wish to recognize today are graduates in the University Honors Program. So in the Honors Program, will the members of the University Honors Program please rise to receive recognition and remain standing? University Honors Program. The commencement program lists the names and members of the graduating class whose academic records justify singling them out for distinction or great distinction. Will the graduates who have received great distinction please rise for recognition and remain standing if you have great distinction? Now will those who earned distinction please rise so that we can recognize all of you, those with distinction. Thank you. Please be seated. I'd also like to acknowledge 18 graduates who were commissioned as officers in the United States Army and Air Force during the ROTC commissioning exercises yesterday right at this location. Clarkson ROTC, so please stand, those that were commissioned yesterday. Please stay there, stay standing for a second, stay standing. Clarkson ROTC service has consistently ranked among the nation's very best. We're extremely proud of the courage and sacrifice our graduates who have made these military commitments in service to our country. In addition to asking our new officers to rise, which they have done and be recognized, could all veterans present please join our cadets and accept our appreciation for your service? All veterans, please rise. Thank you. Please be seated. We were honored yesterday with Colonel Heather Anderson and her husband John, both 94 graduates from Clarkson, and Colonel Anderson was the speaker at the commissioning service yesterday. It was a thrill to have them both back. Two members of the class of 2017 are now to receive further recognition, the highest awards from the University Faculty for Scholarship and the Promise of Outstanding Professional Achievement. Over 100 years ago, Elizabeth, Frederica, and Lavinia Clarkson founded this school as a memorial to their brother, Thomas S. Clarkson. The sisters created 2 awards to be given to the 2 most outstanding graduates in the school. One is named after Thomas Clarkson's brother, Lavinus. The other is named for one of his sisters, Frederica. Today, we proudly continue the tradition begun by these founders as we honor our 2 highest achieving and most promising graduates in the eyes of our faculty. Now, off script again, we have 2 members of the Clarkson family that are trustees at this institution. One of them is Barney Clarkson, former Chief of Hematology at Sloan Kettering, and this is coming up to be his 50th year of service to Clarkson as a trustee. So I'm going to ask Barney to come forward and help me present these 2 awards. Barney? The student selected to receive the Frederica Clarkson Award is Amy Haight. At Clarkson, Amy established herself as an outstanding honors program student, researcher, and leader. She led her peers as president of the women's rugby team. Well done. And knitting for the needy, secretary of NIWEA and vice president of the College Liberals, conducted research with New York EPA, interned at Chobani Yogurt and Delaware Engineering, participated in 3 professional honor societies, volunteered with St. Francis Inn, CU Connect, and as an honors program mentor, and was the recipient of the Keith M. Russ Civil and Environmental Engineering Award. We congratulate Amy as she prepares to work for Button and LaJudas as an engineer in their water and wastewater group. Today she is graduating with a major in environmental engineering and a GPA of 3.99. You can go that way, wherever. The student selected for the 2017 Levinus Clarkson Award is Caitlin Dunn. Katie has had an exemplary career at Clarkson, an honors program student. She participated in 7 research projects and was co-author on 5 scholarly papers. Katie served as the captain of the Women's National Championship Nordic Ski Team and as a leader of several campus clubs such as Eta Kappa, New Honor Society, the Crew Team, and the Honors Program Student Ambassadors. She was chosen as a recipient of the prestigious Barry Goldwater Scholarship as both an honorable mention and a winner, and was awarded several departmental awards at Clarkson. We have Katie our best wishes as she enters the Optics PhD program at the University of Rochester in the fall. Today she is graduating with a dual major in electrical engineering and physics with a 4.0 GPA. How about a round of applause for Barney Clarkson? Oh. At Clarkson, our faculty share a passion for both teaching and research excellence. Each year we recognize our faculty with 2 awards, the first for excellence in teaching, the second for excellence in research. It gives me great pleasure to announce that the 2017 Distinguished Teaching Award has been awarded to Dr. Lucina Etchazu. Lou, I know, I actually know her daughter better. The John W. Graham Faculty Research Award is given each year to an untenured faculty member whose work shows great promise, and the award is to be used solely for research purposes. This year, the recipient of the John W. Graham Award is Dr. Rio Sun of the Department of Mathematics. Rio? Congratulations. Terrific effort. Where's the family? Rio's telling me his family's over there. He's giving him a wave. Yes. Clarkson also recognizes upon their retirement professors with academic administrators who have served the university with distinction for a noteworthy period. This year we had 5 such individuals to be honored: Dr. Joe Diemer, Dr. Gabor Forgash, Dr. Fengbor Lin, and Dr. Bill Wilcox could not be with us today. Please join me in a round of applause for them. Will Dr. Don Rasmussen please come forward? Dr. Rasmussen served the Department of Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering for 38 years. Thank you for your service, a tremendous contributor across research, teaching, and service to the institution. We can't think of a finer person to be recognizing today. Thank you, Don. I did a quick math calculation, and those 5 people together accumulated somewhere between 150 and 200 years of service to Clarkson. That deserves a round of applause. Now I'd like to recognize our staff. You don't see many of them in our processional today, but they are throughout the building and on campus ensuring the success of commencement, just as they have helped ensure your students' success from the very first time they set foot on this campus. Whether it is a groundsperson, a student life professional, or a custodian, our staff forms important, often lasting bonds with our students. I hear it every day. They too have helped our graduates to be where they are. Please give our staff a round of applause. There is another form of service we wish to recognize today, and that is the work of those who helped inspire the nation's youth. How did people get to Clarkson? Typically, there is a person that has been inspirational in their lives, K through 12. The Clarkson University Award for Inspirational Educators Award was established to honor individuals who had a lasting influence on the lives of some of today's graduates. Grant Geske, honors chemistry professor and STEM innovator at Cushing Academy in Ashburnham, Massachusetts. Dr. Geske was nominated by Nate Hurwitz. So, Dr. Where are you? Yep, back there. Well, yeah, come forward. Don't go away. And Jenny Pond, Clarkson 95, with a BS degree, master's in 98, associate professor of engineering science at Jefferson Community College in Watertown, New York. Jenny Pond was nominated by Chelsea Kostner and Chelsea Zare. So please join me in giving them one more round of applause. Thank you. So Jen and her husband Eric, who's out there, we all met a long time ago in Camp 177. I'll let you work out how we met there. And now, as has been Clarkson's custom, I would like to turn to another group especially deserving of recognition. I refer to the families and of the degree candidates assembled here, and especially on this Mother's Day weekend, to those women who have contributed in so many ways to the success of our graduates. Would the mothers and grandmothers of our graduates please stand and remain standing to receive thanks from all of us? Mothers and grandmothers. Please remain standing, and for our graduates to give a chance for them to thank you, please, would the fathers and other family members of our graduates also stand to receive applause from those who are graduating. Thank you. And the last group I'd like to thank are our faculty members who, without our faculty members, this is not an academic institution that can even begin to think about granting degrees. So please join me in thanking our faculty assembled behind us. Please. Thank you. Mark Green, class of 1977, is the president of the Clarkson Alumni Association. Mark will now offer his remarks.
Thank you. Welcome. 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 I'm here to tell you that there is a Clarkson University Alumni Association. And we're excited to welcome you, our new graduates, into this group. You are joining an organization with more than 42,000 living members. We are led by a couple of handfuls of people, roughly 70 alums, who volunteer their time and talents to organize and lead 150 to 200 alumni events each year that we hold throughout the country and on campus. Your Alumni Association has 28 organized chapters in 16 states. So as you leave from the arena today, you can connect up with Clarkson wherever you may end up in the next few weeks or months. We also have night sites and affinity groups. Night sites are like infant chapters. They have leadership and organize a fewer events. Affinity groups are organized collections of alums with a theme like the pep band or phalanx. The staff of the Alumni Office support the activities of all these groups, the chapters, the affinity groups, and the night sites. Our Alumni Association includes alums in 50 states, 5 U.S. territories, and 94 countries around the world. Our mission is to foster loyalty, meaningful engagement, and lifelong commitment to the university by its alums. Our mission is to network and provide services to alums in achieving career success and public service involvement. Our mission is to support and promote the university in its pursuit of excellence in teaching, research, and public service. And the fourth dimension of our mission is to identify and enable on-campus initiatives increasing alumni experiences with you, the students, and with faculty. Basically, we interface with campus leadership to identify areas where alums can enrich your campus experience and where the campus can support alums who need help. Our most popular alumni events are attending hockey games. Surprise, surprise. Who would have thought? We also see a lot of alums return to campus for reunion. We connect with our local communities through Clarkson Serves, a series of projects that are done around Earth Day. I believe a number of students also participated in Clarkson Serves on Earth Day this year. We also connect virtually through annual hockey telecast and alumni-led webcasts. Your Alumni Association has several prestigious awards that we present each year. Most of the awards are presented at reunion. The Golden Knight Award is recognition of older alums, and the Woodstock Award is recognition of younger alums for career accomplishment, service to Clarkson, and service to their community. We also present 8 other awards to alums, students, and those who support the Alumni Association's mission. I want to acknowledge and thank 2 graduating student representatives that had helped advise the Alumni Association leadership in this past year, fostering student-to-alumni contacts. Thank you to Jen Fiddler and Jesse Martin. Graduates, I urge you to stay in touch with your university and especially the Alumni Office. We're willing and very flexible to support holding alumni events wherever there's a group of alums of any size looking for help. You have to tell Clarkson where you are, and the Alumni Association will work to connect you up with other alums. And advertisement coming up on May 24th, if you're near Boston, Albany, Syracuse, or Rochester, I encourage you to make plans that evening of May 24th to attend the Clarkson Networking Day. It's for students, recent grads like yourselves, alums, corporate partners. And to get details on the event, if you haven't heard about it already, check in with the Career Center. Congratulations on your achievement. Welcome to the Alumni Association. Let's go Tech.
Thank you, Mark. And now we move to the principal business of the day, the granting of degrees. The first degrees that we award are the honorary doctorates. Candidates for these degrees have accomplished deeds in their careers that are most noteworthy of imitation by today's graduates. After our honorary degrees are awarded, the recipients will share with the graduates a thought for consideration in shaping your futures. These recipients challenge our graduates to use their Clarkson education and experience to see the world through the lives of others and impact something larger than themselves. Our first 2017 honorary degree recipient is David Reh, escorted by trustee Stephen Ryan. Dale Smith, Dean of the School of Business, will present David Reh.
Thank you, Tony.
Okay, so here comes, there you go.
Dave Reh for his steadfast commitment to technology innovation and entrepreneurship, the twin engines of progress, and for his dedication to shaping the next generation of business creators and industry leaders. We proudly honor David H. Reh.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon you, David Reh, the degree of Doctor of Science, together with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and honors appertaining thereto. This is a proud moment for all of us. There's that. I'll give Steve, you can, okay.
Just so I speak.
Away you go, right there.
Wow. Well, thank you, President Collins, and thank you to all the trustees for this honor. Congratulations to my fellow honorees, and also congratulations to the students and to their parents that have made this graduate possible. I graduated in 1962 in industrial distribution, the precursor to what is today's engineering and management program. I'm probably the alumnus most closely associated with entrepreneurship at Clarkson. Mark Humpo, who's back here someplace, of the business school faculty, started things with My Business 101. Mark, then Aaron Draper, have built it into a flourishing center for entrepreneurship, and entrepreneurship is becoming a significant part of Clarkson's. The kind of entrepreneurship that I'm promoting is the own your own business type. Starting or buying a company and building it, it's much different than they got a great idea, find a venture capitalist, go public, get rich, quick variety. Which, if you can do it, is more power to you. Now, owning a company is not for everyone. It can be lonely and it can be scary. But I hope to tease a couple of you into trying it out of 600 and some people. If you do, it will provide you with a vehicle to bring life to your ideas, build an organization around them, and have the satisfaction of providing livelihoods to a lot of people. My case, it was very satisfying to create a business that developed equipment to reduce factory injuries and another to install sophisticated computer-controlled warehouses that make the supply chain more efficient. Now, why did I become an entrepreneur, and why am I supporting Clarkson? Excuse me. Like all kids, I learned a lot during dinner with my folks. My dad was a mechanic at the local school and came home many nights cold and tired from laying on a concrete floor, fixing buses, or out in the snow, retrieving a stuck school bus. Although he wasn't a complainer, he occasionally would tell stories about his consternation from some ridiculous decision his boss, Bill Sluter, had made. Mr. Sluter was the coat and tie director of transportation for the school system. Now, meanwhile, my grandparents lived a half a mile across the farm. They lived a modest life, yet very comfortable. They were my second set of parents, and from age 5, I walked to their house every day after school. Now, Grandpa and Grandma, they were second-generation German immigrants who had taken care of themselves through flood and through drought. They decided what they wanted to do, were quietly independent, and beholding only to the friends and neighbors that they also relied on. My takeaway from this dichotomy between my parents and grandparents was to strive to be my own boss. After Clarkson, 7 months working at AT&T, a couple of years in the Army, and graduate school, I chose to go to work for a three-person manufacturing rep firm. I was not sure how it would work out, but I knew it was better than the bureaucracy I had faced at AT&T. 3 years later, I had an opportunity to buy that company, and over the years, I built it, and Gorbel and Retrotech, all companies in material handling equipment. There's no reason to discourage you at this point in time with the sordid details of sometimes wondering how to keep the doors open, anguish of laying off half your employees in the '74 recession, or a third of them in the 2008. But I will tell you that all of Procter & Gamble's laundry detergent in North America goes through one of our systems. And they handle 150,000 boxes of beef per day at Cargill protein plants. There's a pride that comes with that, knowing that Gorbel ships over 100 custom-built cranes every week. So why have Sue and I helped Clarkson and the students here? It's our way of giving back after all the financial support that I personally received my last 3 years at Clarkson and also during U of R grad school. That support left me without any debt and my parents with their savings intact. So many years after my own graduation, when Clarkson started the small business program, Dean Segru and Mark Campeau, they came to visit me, and they would let me win at Glouf, and they asked for support of the small business program. I did make a modest investment in the program. Since then, Mark and Aaron Draper have built it into the thriving entrepreneurial center it now is. Soon, the ERC, which is sort of tech talk for a library, adjoining both the engineering schools and the business schools, will become the hub of entrepreneurial education at Clarkson. And along the way, Sue and I have helped Clarkson fulfill some of its dreams and provide aid to deserving students. So it's been a good life, and if you choose, somebody here chooses today to own a business, I hope you nothing but the best of success. In closing, I want to say that my experience at Clarkson was an amazing, transformational one for me, and I hope each of you here today had a similar experience. No matter where your path leads, I wish you great success and personal happiness. Your education here at Clarkson is only the start of your journey, and I'm hoping that it will be one that has provided you with a valuable foundation that leads to your success. My many thanks and congratulations to all of you. Pardon me.
So thank you, David, and thank you for your support and generosity that is going to be transformational, not just in a physical sense in the middle campus, but in an intellectual sense, in an academic sense. So thank you for all you've done for this institution. Our second 2017 honorary degree recipient is Jan D. Achenbach, escorted by Trustee Tom Kassouf, by Trustee Tom Kassouf, and Professor John Dempsey, Professor of Civil and Environmental Engineering, will present Jan D. Achenbach.
For his pioneering advancements in fracture mechanics and in furthering our understanding of how stress forces interact with flaws within structural metals, and for his revolutionary application of ultrasonic methods to detect flaws in critical structures, we proudly honor Jan D. Achenbach.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon you, Jan D. Achenbach, the degree of Doctor of Science, together with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities and honors appertaining thereto.
Mr. President, members of the faculty, students, parents, and visitors. It's a great honor to receive an honorary doctorate from Clarkson University. Part of the honor is to stand on this stage and see the faces of all of you graduating students. Congratulations. When I look at you, I see an excellent education, energy, and ability that promise that you are ready to enter the large world around you. That world is ready to offer you many opportunities in industry, academia, and government. Or you can strike out on your own, as many Clarkson recipients of degrees do. You have taken what it takes to recognize opportunities that will present themselves and to be at the right place at the right time with the right background. Let me tell you a little bit about myself and my technical accomplishments. I was born in the Netherlands and studied aeronautical engineering at the Delft University of Technology. While I was an undergraduate, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik in 1957, the first man-made satellite to circle the Earth. This event of worldwide importance prompted me to apply for graduate study in the United States, which I expected to respond vigorously to Sputnik with research and technology. I received a fellowship, and in September 1959, I enrolled in the Department of Aeronautics and Astronautics at Stanford University and became a member of the Sputnik generation of aero and astro engineers. My PhD research was on waves and vibrations in solid propellants. The study of wave motion became a lifelong interest, which led to my fascination with sound that can discover anomalies by reflection and scattering. An example of wave motion that can discover is ultrasound. Ultrasound can be sent into a structure to detect cracks, corrosion, cavities, and delamination by reflection of the radiated sound. In the human body, it can detect anomalies like tumors. The use of ultrasound in non-destructive testing and inspection had been known for many years, but it did not become quantitative, which means accurately measurable and analyzable, until the 1970s with the advances of electronic equipment, numerical methods, and analytical techniques. I had the good fortune to be one of the first to pioneer the quantitative uses of ultrasound. My work on the fundamentals and applications of ultrasound, particularly with regard to the structural safety of aircraft, may have earned me this doctorate from Clarkson University, as it did the 2003 National Medal of Technology and the 2005 National Medal of Science, both awarded at the White House. A degree from Clarkson University is a great asset, but keep in mind that your education is not finished when you leave here. There will always be something new to be learned in order to respond to whatever challenges you may encounter. Einstein said it, when you no longer learn, you are dying. But let work not be the only thing in your life. Have also fun. Find a companion and enjoy what you are doing. I wish you good luck, but remember that luck has a way of happening to those who aim high. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. I think that's yours. Thank you. Our third and final 2017 honorary degree recipient is Jeffrey R. Immelt, escorted by trustees Dan Heinzelman and Jody Markopoulos. Bill Jemison, Dean of the Coulter School of Engineering, will present Jeffrey R. Immelt. Nice folder.
For his visionary leadership, developing and delivering technologies designed to make the world a better place, and for his ongoing commitment to creating a new business model to lead in the 21st century marketplace, we proudly honor Jeffrey R. Immelt.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon you, Jeffrey R. Immelt, the degree of Doctor of Science, together with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and honors appertaining thereto.
Thank you. Thank you, President Collins, and thanks to the trustees, and I'm honored to be here today with all the other recipients, and to the graduates, I say congratulations, and congratulations to the parents. It's great to be at Clarkson today. I've heard so much about your school from the alumni. I've never been here before. I went to college in the 1970s in New Hampshire. In my 4 years there, we had 100 inches of snow, but somehow I always knew that Potsdam was worse, and it made me feel better, but it's still great to see the snow's melted. As a leader of a lot of people, I'm always comforted by your motto that a workman needeth not be ashamed. Great words. Clearly this phrase doesn't apply to me because you've been sweating your degree the last 4 years. I've done nothing during this degree. I just showed up this morning and already I'm Dr. Immelt. It's cooler this way, guys, I gotta tell you. GE has had a long association with Clarkson. We employ 525 Clarkson alums at GE, and we're adding another 40 this year. Now, that might not be so great for the graduates, but I saw every parent applauding. We've shared many intellectual pursuits together. We're working together on smart grids, material science, additive manufacturing. We both value technology and hard work. Clarkson grads do very well at GE. I know that for a fact, and that this is one of the finest technical schools in the world, so really congratulations on your degree. My simple message to you today is that you have a chance to be really good, to make a difference. And the reason why I know that is because I worked with so many Clarkson grads over the years. And today, rather than telling you my story, I'd like to introduce you to a few of them. So Jody Markopoulos. Jody, please stand. Jody is Clarkson class of 1993, an engineering major. Jody's worked for GE for 23 years and is an officer of the company. Jody's the most competitive person I have ever met. She's also one of the most fun. I've seen her lead through the toughest cycles. She knows how to get things done, and people follow Jody. She's a role model. When she joined GE, there were no women leaders in manufacturing. She had no one to look up to. But she blazed a trail for others, in addition to being a hardworking professional. Jody's a mentor to dozens of young women in GE, and she's a Clarkson grad. Joe Mastrangelo. Joe, please stand. Joe is Clarkson, class of 1992, a science and finance major. Joe's worked for GE for 24 years and is an officer of the company. Joe's a Renaissance man. He's lived in Europe for the last 16 years. He speaks 3 languages, although I'm not sure English is one of them sometimes, Joe. And he really has been responsible for building our company around the world. Joe and I have sold turbines together. They're manufactured down in Schenectady and Iraq and China and all over the world. In addition, Joe has led high-tech businesses using innovation to solve problems. He's a leader who drives innovation.
He's a learner. He's always seeking the next idea, new insight. Joe really is a systems thinker. He's immensely creative and lights up the room with his laugh and his smile. And Joe's a Clarkson grad. Danny Heinzelman. Danny is Clarkson class of '79, industrial distribution major. Dan retired last year as a vice chairman of GE. He has exceptional judgment. He's a tough-minded leader who always made things better. After the 9/11 crisis, he was one of the leaders who navigated our aviation business to better days. During his career, Dan has led multiple organizations and literally hundreds of thousands of people. He's the best coach and developer of people I've ever seen. And despite his serious demeanor, I know he was a wicked partier when he was here. Now, Dan is one of the very few people in GE who would actually tell me when I was wrong. I didn't like it all the time, but I respected him more. He's my friend, and Dan's a Clarkson grad. So my message is, you have every right to forget who spoke at your graduation. I know I did. You're better off not listening so much to old people anyhow. You should explore the world on your own. But don't ever forget about these three. The Clarkson grads I know are good people and good leaders. And the lessons from Jody and Joe and Dan are to be a giver, not a taker. In other words, always bring people with you. And that actions speak louder than words. You will always be judged by what you do, not where you're from. So don't be afraid to take risks. They live a culture that really represents a workman that needeth not be ashamed. And by sharing that culture, you have a chance to really be great. I hope you're proud of your school and you value each other. And I'm honored now to be a Clarkson grad with my fresh degree. But I'm not here really on my own. I'm here really to honor my friends. And maybe to remind you in the spirit of Jody and Joe and Dan that sometimes ordinary people like you and me can do extraordinary things. Now, every time I come to a graduation like this, I think of my parents. It was their vision of education, the fact that education in this country is the great equalizer. They really sent me on my way. So my message to all of you is before you leave here today, you might want to tell your parents thanks. So with that, congratulations to this class. Go out there and grab it, and good luck.
Really nicely done. Thank you for saying this is great. So we are really proud to count 3 new graduates amongst our ranks today. So please, let's give them all 3 of those wonderful speakers, wonderful individuals, a round of applause. We will now confer the bachelor's degrees. Dr. Michael Wasserman, Associate Professor in the School of Business and winner of the 2016 Distinguished Teaching Award, will present the candidates. Vice President for Enrollment and Student Advancement, Brian Grant, and Trish Dobbs, Director of Admissions, will read the candidates' names. Professor Wasserman, please present your candidates.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Professional Studies please rise and remain standing? President Collins, I am pleased to present on behalf of the faculty candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Professional Studies. The faculty sitting behind us certifies that they have completed all requirements for these degrees, and our recommendation has been confirmed by the vote of the Board of Trustees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Professional Studies with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and honors which appertain thereto.
Class of 2017, tassels to the left, please. please be seated. The first candidates receiving their diplomas will be the student marshals who were selected for this honor at University Recognition Day. They will then escort their classmates to the front of the floor podium. We do ask that you please hold your applause until all have received their diplomas.
Corey J. Riley. Emily Helene McGillicuddy. Jessica Hassler Martin. Kendall Elizabeth Gardner. Conrad Hines Deal. Dylan R. Flight. David James Johnson. Sam Wesley Garwood. Blaine Alexandra Barker. Nicholas George Kern. Alden Dirk Mitchell. Cameron Walker Lindstrom Murray. Arturo A. Armas. Amanda R. Wells. John T. Hanley. Connor Alexander Mabluff. Mitchell Holleran Gibson. Brianne Spereza. Andrew Earl Kinsley. Nicholas Reed Boughton. Chase Hollister Weaver. Lucas Bennett Patrizzo. Stephen Charles Paddock. Ben M. Van Nostrum. Brighton Taylor Schwartz. Patrick Thomas Balling. Caitlin S. Emmer. Zachary James Cleland. Christina Melissa Kakis. Zachary D. Burnell. William Charles Carter. Morgan Jane Bailey. Samantha Elizabeth Connors. Kimberly Ann Laspina. Jordan Marie Treat. Brianna Rose Welsh. Natalie Elizabeth LePage. Grace Margaret Vogel Nichols. William Wesley Weaver. John Thomas McGuire Vanderminden. Marguerite Isabella Martinez. Christian Peter Richter. Joshua S. Hume. Ethan P. Corey. Hannah Elizabeth Bagshaw. William Arthur Murphy. Catherine Rose Pelton. Sarah Jane Mikens. Samantha Claire Ellison. Elizabeth A. Cassidy. Eric John Seal. Owen Tang. Adam Michael Cunningham. Madeline Massey. Dylan D. Bowman. Jessica Marie Lohr. Jediah Richard Langlois. Eric Williams Larson.
Jillian Elizabeth Okoski. Catherine Pones DeVries. Dennis Stephen DeVries. Jason Michael Cardinal. Timothy Patrick Pierce, Jr. Nicholas A. Lenta. Nicholas Andrew Zapotsky. James John Carluck. Sarah Kate Halstead. George R. Meyerhofer. Amy Haight. Lauren Nicole Stemetsky. James B. Martin.
So I promised I would return. So James actually asked if he could just say a thank you. Let me give you his story quickly. As a machine mechanic operator, James sustained a workplace accident in March 2006. He sustained severe nerve damage and was diagnosed with type 1 complex regional pain syndrome. He was casted for 16 weeks and treated by Upstate Bone and Joint Center Pain Management Group in Syracuse. For 3 to 4 years, he needed pain medication and felt he had lost his self-identity. He then opted for a spinal cord stimulator implant, knowing that he would be potentially 75% disabled, but would no longer require pain medication. The implant was successful, but his life had lost purpose. After 2 years in discussions with his wife Mary, he decided to return to North Country Community College in the spring of 2012 to study business and health science. In 2015, he transferred as a non-traditional student to Clarkson after being awarded, and he wanted me to mention this, a $15,000 leadership award and a $12,000 scholarship. His career goal is to work for St. Jude Medical Neuromodulation Group so he can help others with chronic pain, very much in the line of the Coulter School of Engineering tagline, technology serving humanity. He wants to give back and know that he has made a difference. James would like to just say a couple of words. James.
Thank you, President Collins, and congratulations to my fellow classmates. I am extremely proud to be sitting amongst you all today. I would like to express my gratitude to Clarkson Admissions for giving me the opportunity to prove myself as a non-traditional student. I would also like to thank the faculty, staff, and Office of Accommodative Services for going above and beyond to ensure my success. Additionally, I would like to thank my family for their emotional, moral, and financial support. This journey would not have been possible without them. I encourage everyone, despite the obstacles, discouragements, or failures you may face, to embrace the power of perseverance and never let anyone, including yourself, tell you that you can't achieve something, because you can. My father is no longer with us today, but he was such a staunch supporter of higher education. So I'd like to dedicate this day to my dad. This is for you. Godspeed to all of you. Thank you.
Put that in there. So do that, like that. I'm going to have a photo right there. There we go.
Matthew E. Honickman. Michael Davis Austin. Nicole Robin Seward. Lillian Elizabeth Hogel. Hannah L. Dror. Susan E. Vera. Thomas Peter Sarles. Sarah Elizabeth Parker. Lindsay Rose Canestra. Amanda J. Kelly. Megan Ann Hendricks. Emily Lauren DeBruin. Teresa Kathleen Paul. Ahmad E. Hassan. Connor E. Kilmer. Brianna Paige Weber. Isabel D. Toulis. Shayna J. Schultz. Jordan Dallas Woods. Skylar Autumn Treveri. Alexis Lynn Pokai. Stephanie Ann Guzzi. Allison R. Vacanti. Marissa E. Manley. Alicia Marsal. Emily Ann Carrig. Rachel Lynn Samardik. Teresa Owen V. Doe. Alexander J. Wilson. James I. Hughes. Alan Benjamin Dewey. Philip Anthony Resikia. Brendan William Stocker. Tyler R. Sheffield. Matthew Wade Phillips. Zachary Timothy Warren. Adenia Jordana Wungo. Aaron Thomas Stahl. Robert Miller. Evan M. Himes. Benjamin Lewis Tucker. Betty Ann King. Jack Austin Newberry. Henry E. Wallace III. Tucker Robert Wilcox. Brennan Ray Files. William John Kurdziel. Marco E. Parisi. Andrew Knight Zlogar. Conrad Zampier. Joseph M. Battaglia. Sven Eric Gustafson. Nicholas Anderson Crawford. Stephen William Epps, Jr. Michael Christopher Field. Stephen Matthew Hanzik. Sean Allen Hoffman. John Joseph Santana. Brett Robert Frears. Michael Lincoln Velarde. Austin Evans. Justin Alexander McNeil. Mitchell E. Shaw. Jamie Lee Bridge. Alicia Ray Trello.
Alexandra Lauren Meitner. Morgan Marie Herbert. Villy Renola. Troy Colin Vaccarello Josephs. Alexander James Fossen. Stephen R. Perry. Perry Andrew DeRiso. Samuel Vigneault. Jordan Boucher Gould. Michael James Conway. Kyle Michael Erickson. Grant Gregory Lardazebo Ancidi. Wilson Cortez III. James Andrew DeHaas. Jessica Elise Jean Gillum. Mackenzie Lauren Marole Johnson. Corey Jacobson. Genevieve Bannon. Jessica Marie Martinez. Ashwara Patel. Brian Gale Davis. Jamie Nicole Schwab. Megan Marie Curry. Jessica Eleanor Munn. Ian Wilson. Dylan Anthony DeShane. Kyle Michael Grant. Crystal T. O'Hearn. Mark Finelli. Anthony Darnell Anderson II. Morgan Cora Finnerty. Kirsten Elizabeth Drepo. Wyatt Thomas Bingham. Joseph Francis Nelson. Sean Timothy Herman. Benjamin Scott Hammond. Jacob J. McKeenan. Sierra Rose Spring. Gretchen Bronley. Maggie Elizabeth Manzo. Megan Elizabeth Ireland. Jacob Berrien. Morgan John Peterson. Adam Richard Nielsen. Adam Earl Scott. Andrew Martin Kramer. Brian Nicholas Nardone. Lauren E. Smales. Spencer Elliott Griswold. Caitlin Jennifer Dunn. David Benjamin Josephs. Erica Grace Baldwin. Shawnee Olson. Zachary Stephen Robert. Annika Rose Christensen. Kate Emily Dillon. Paula Marie Morse. Ashley Ann Flick. Cassandra Regan Hopkins. Rachel Catherine Loescher. Emily Elizabeth Gibbons. Kanoy Eichholz. Casey Lynn Abraham. Tori Francis Saylor. Caitlin Hillary Swanson. Lauren Alexandra Flynn. Catherine Jean Young. Emily Elizabeth Skaya. Matthew Roy Wagner. Emma Caroline Tucker. Katina Russell Cushman. Bradley Ryan McAuliffe. Ryan Joseph McCurden. Allison Amanda Weissner. Joel Peter Ross. Patrick Michael McCormick. Jordan Ravenel. Thomas George Waters. Jeffrey Odell. Cosmo Islam. Ian W. Van Tack. Amira Jabbar Hamden.
Mark P. Simmons. Briar Elizabeth Bonadonna. Kevin Patrick McCrell. Scott Hazen Dosser. Michael Ronald Francis. Jack Curtis Harlander. Trevor Scott Chase. Ryan Anthony Durin. Ryan Sullivan St. Croix. Kyle Egan Brown. Nathaniel Stephen Smart. Justin Edward Gibson. Colin Patrick Szymanski. Sean Hugh Condon. Kayla Isamar Rodriguez. Daniel Edward Weber. Andrew Charles Schick. Timothy John Abel. Mason Tristan Gamble. Tyler Thomas Latulip. Catherine Rose Shimaratro. Kenneth James Gilbane. Jonathan Travis Pasick. Arel Elise Stoyan. Sierra Rose Bowen. Dalton Hunter Lorenz. Daniel Joseph Sekel. Nicholas C. Helgeland. Christopher Douglas Robinson. Christina Bangkok Dong. Christopher Michael Prendis. Parker Robert Misha. Ian William McClellan. John C. Landsberg. Eric James Cassidy. Benjamin L. Furlett. Caitlin Grace Van Winkler. Genevieve Bryn Broadwell. Daniel Ellery Colby. Madison G. Perrin. Valerie Don Bedell. Danielle J. Smith. Heidi Jo Smith. Ryan Patrick Moore. Liam P. Demarest. William Leo Johnson. Joanne L. Beisha. Kyle Nelson Atkinson. Christopher G. Bay. Yolana Hajina. Adam Thomas Willett. Lucas Allen Reynolds. Jacob Mark Royal. Thomas Christopher Pearsall. Brian Michael Neiswitz. Sierra Levon Rhodes. Michael David Hayduck. Evan Murray. Wolfgang Carl Celentano. Dalton P. Perry. Jedediah Samuel Noakes. Tyler John Moss. Benjamin D. Robistow. Anthony James Stead. James Michael Aplanap. Genevieve Ann Fiddler. Alessandra Amelia Pratt. Daniel James Minor, Jr. Jacob Michael Dormer. Lauren Mary Berry. Sinclair Naomi Smith. Ashley Lynn Lewis. Kelsey Lynn Travis. Chelsea Brianna DeMeyers. Victoria Abby Peterson. Jessica Ann D. Kara Coleman Van Herwerdy. Bryce Gareth Reeser. Stephen Michael Bruley. Tyler Shane Lovelace. Zachary Daniel Venn. Matthew Dominic Andriola. Christopher C. Reipold.
Nicholas James Leota. Stephanie Page Grobe. Kathleen Emily Connolly. Cody Joseph Campo. Court Honey. Mark Eric Nelson. Aiden Coten. John Albert Brunner. Patrick Kern Collin. Miles Philip Miller. Adam Christopher Graham. Catherine Ann Furlan. Matthew R. Dyer. David Patrick Desmond. Tyler John DeSenza. Rachel Marie Kenyon. Marnie E. Chansey. Francesca Teresa Bartimol. Daniela Paracella. Megan Kaiser. Brianna April Blakely. Stephanie Marie Jump. Cameron Isco. Julia Ann O'Sullivan. Joran C. Hayes. Rachel Corbett Gensigo. Sydney Drew Crady. Brittany E. Brown. Michaela Jean Heinz. Rachel Amelia Calhoun. Adeteto Oholu. Emma Marie Spencer. Jessica Ann Robert. Nicole Clement Gomez. Eric C. Simons II. Sarah Rose Murtowski. Irene Michelle Ryan. Neil Francis Stacom. Matthew Thomas Warsaw. Robert John Smorelli. Colin James Nugent. Romeo Tuminelli. Joshua Tracy Seckler. Jacob Scott Cook. Justin Tyler Christensen. Jacob Christian Yonkers. Dylan Ross DuPont. Sean Anthony O'Leary. Jack Hutton. Killian Patrick Hart. Zachary E. Sucrease. Nicholas Alexander Roche. Kathleen Laura McDonald. Mark John Fredette. Shakur R. Henry. Ivan Lowe. Emmanuel Shushel Voss. Andy R. Osori. Norbo Dickinson. Aslan Mishak. Richard Lee Curtis Brown, Jr. Symphony McCoy. Jamie D. Griffin. Manuel Guillermo Paulino Rojas. Rachel Ann Hussinger. Paul Michael Dermer. Troy Belmont Bates. William A. Callahan. Dylan Thomas Gilgallen. Jacob Peter Brown. Katrina Louise Lane. Davide Castrasulo. Samuel Gerdak Rose. Daniel Alexander Borner. John Kelly Mayer. Michael Charles Hart. Justin Cruz. Alexander William Burns.
Kyle James Hale. Austin Wooten Peel. Wasim Raza Burke. Paul Jr. Cruz. Abubakar Yalo. Alex J. Julian. Katie Liu. Sarah S. Lukili. Ashley Henry. Bakari Smith.
So as promised, I'm returning again to the microphone. I know Bakari's parents, John and Azalea, are out there somewhere. Do you know where they are, Bakari? Wow. One of these days we're going fishing, right, John? So let me tell you briefly about Bakari. Bachelor of Science, Electrical Engineering, GPA higher than a 3.9. He is the 2016 Independent Sector Student Community Service Award, awarded for New York State in Albany a year ago. He is the current captain of the swim team with the undeniably perhaps best swim coach in the country, Mick McGuire. Even more importantly, Bakari is the president of the Clarkson University Jazz Ensemble. And now, we think it might be nice to listen to Bakari honor our nation.
Kristen Alessandra Harvey. Coda Tamura. Matthew C. Halterman. Mitchell David Sanchez. Emily Marie Sexton. Paige Olivia Hewlett. Danielle Jennifer King. Alexander Scott Friedman. Kirsten Elizabeth Dotson. Sarah Patricia Crowley. Daniel J. Marino. Michael Tyler Terry. Gino Stephen Picocha. Brent Michael Landon. Henry Joseph Schwarter V. Brian P. Berhaney. Aaron T. Parker. Joshua F. Petrus. Lauren J. Hess. Chelsea D. Zare. Chelsea Marie Coster. Braden Tyler Case. Aaron Lusby. Eric Robert Legacy. Patrick James Salerno IV. Jonathan Colin Lee. Michael Timbasco. Jonathan Douglas Brewster. James Tyler Henry. Kyle Paul Keebler. Nathaniel William Ash. Bradley Parker Stoffer. Brian Robert Easterly. Gage A. Walker. Tance A. Graham. David Joshua Glass. Alex Scott Roberge. David Charles Powers. Kurt Edward Atkins, Jr. Corey John Feely. Sean P. Connors. Vincent Lee. G. Wang. Thomas A. Toomey. Ori T. Antonsen. Victoria Lee Hathaway. John Thomas East. Christian Tyler Johnson. Amir A. Garcia Nunez. Zachary Allen Coons. Eric Michael Casper. Michael Scott Fulton. Kyle Z. Peterson. Graham R. Northup. Hunter D. Quant. Chad Michael Olmsted. David Aldo de Virgilio. Kevin Paul Motler, Jr. Griffin Quinn Norbury. Samuel Scott Marble. Jaron Robert Ziegler. James Ian Machniak. Connor William Drossel.
David W. Kersimiji. Austin C. Stegel. Nicholas Edward Hart. Stephen H. Poffenberger. Christopher B. Ellis. Michael John Robert Catherall. Jared S. Curtis. Jason McBrainbridge Rester. Hunter Jacob Goddard. Jonathan Roger Tennant. Stephen Thomas McAuliffe. Dylan James Weston. Jeremy John Krupa. Jake D. Hamburger. Tyler Scott Tresidder. David Bruce Martin III. Arthur J. Doran Jr. Christina E. Pollard. Haley Drew Hyder. Jake Benjamin Shrika. McLean Charles Tayo. John S. Tomaszewski. Wyatt Patrick Martin. Cody Jacob Breer. Kyle Alexander Matuzik. Andrew Tyler Sammons. Tracy Pula. Zoella E. Arena. Carissa Simone Bertrand. Rachel Ann Hogden. Marissa Ann White. Susan Lee Broadfoot. Mallory Ray Folsom. Ryan J. Matthews. Zachary William Orr. Michael Joseph Patrick Zembricki II. Kirsten Marie Hummel. Sean Jackson Lowry. Brandon Michael Chester Miller. Jacob Andrew Finsel. Brittany Lauren Perez. Brianna Morgan Farr. Alexander C. Dean. Joseph Scott Bartenstein. John Cody Sullivan. Matthew G. Ryan. Christopher James Sawicki. Riggs Michael Langdon. Jarek Matthew Wurzba. Robert J. Campbell. Samariti Dasgupta. Ying Chang. Jinji Zhao. Chantal Liu. Benjamin Robert Campbell. William Haverland. Rafat Isa Nushwat. Andrew James Rakecki. Brandon Michael Bush. John J. Van Brammer. Jake Daniel Van Buren. Jacob T. Hopley. Tanner Yates Copeland. Matthew Rolozgo. Alexandria Noel Hackford. Margaret Rose Guth. Taylor Lynn Lenny. Nicholas Christopher Strandholm. Samantha Crosby. Joseph Matthew Morfolio. Michael Joseph Rice. Christopher William Lacrosse. Alexander Ewan. April Danielle Marsh. Travis Matthew O'Neill. Nicholas W. Carr. Megan Kathleen Lavin. Soham Bilal Joshi. Brenna C. Gillespie. Madeline Grandam.
Richard Orlando Plesh, Jr. Alex White. Troy White. Nathan Michael Jones. Colin Matthew Wood. Eric Mark Herberger. Charles George Huddig. Cody Gregory Lloyd Peck. Zach Ford Krakowski. Nicholas F. Guberle. Michael Patrick King. Andrew Arthur Couperis. Lucian Alexander Greco. Jeffrey Michael Bloomer. Brian Michael Koshelny. Scott Palmer Dykeman. Riley Joseph Murphy. Bailey Robert Pitonza. Michaela Ann Hall. Brendan Thomas Gibbons. Benjamin Tucker Charlotte. Charles William Hayes Louth IV. Daniel Lawrence Huat. Nathaniel Cooper Hurwitz. Stuart Richard Sinkowski. Emily Lynn Fountain. Sean Michael Gaunt. Bruno Alexander Winterman. Nicholas Henry Brewski. Simmer Michael Akiki. Dana Violet Chapman. Andrew Christopher Akiki. Ryan Matthew Carroll. Brendan James Lemure. Austin Gary Halchuk. Dean D. Duque. Francis M. Smith. Olivia Marie Mascaro. Christopher John Hutton. Dominic Anthony Moquillo. Andrew A. Rosh. Sydney Ling. Brandon Tyler Norris. Adam Gentile. Gregory Brian Lang. Bradley Reed Goslin. Grace Marie Heavey. Austin Emerson Skoog. Benjamin Woodward Tesler. Keith Erickson. Nathaniel Olson. Ilyas Bala Aranjunli. Lydia Lynn Brufy. Alexander Jacob DeWitt.
So please now rise and stay standing, I guess, for the alma mater. The words on the back of your program, the alma mater will be sung by our campus a cappella group, the Golden Notes, accompanied by the Potsdam Brass Quintet.
Hear us sing thy praise.
Please be seated. Please be seated. On behalf of the Clarkson University Board of Trustees, I congratulate the class of 2017. We will now prepare to recess. It's not raining out, so we're going to go outside. I ask that the audience please remain seated until the graduates have recessed out of the arena. I now hereby declare the 124th Commencement Ceremonies and University Convocation closed. To all graduates, good luck and Godspeed.